calls for an RCI to investigate claims against the MACC have grown louder. Meanwhile, the Securities Commission was asked if they are investigating claims about the corporate mafia. Stay tuned to KiniNews for their response. Critics pushing for MACC reform remain unmoved by speculation that the government might not extend the service of MACC Chief Azam Baki after his term expires on May 12. Instead, they reiterated calls for a Royal Commission of Inquiry to investigate claims against the Commission.
Bersih has stressed the need for a Royal Commission of Inquiry into the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission to address issues surrounding the agency. This follows reports that the government is unlikely to extend the contract of MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki when it expires on May 12. In a statement to Malaysia Kini, Bersih Chairperson Faisal Abdul Aziz said that first, the government should clarify the claim about the contract because at this point it is just a rumor. Secondly, he said Bersih maintains his position that an RCI must be set up to answer all questions regarding issues involving MACC. He added that MACC is not only about Azam, but the whole structure of the commission must be cleaned from the corporate mafia allegation and any other abuse of power and corruption allegations. Bersih also urged the government to reform the MACC by placing the agency under Parliament's purview and giving the latter the power to select future MACC chiefs. Meanwhile, government lawmaker Hassan Abdul Karim reiterated his call for the government to initiate an RCI against the MACC regardless of Azam's service tenure and the outcome of a special committee investigation against him. Hassan said that this is because the committee's scope is too narrow, focusing solely on Azam's shareholding controversy. He pointed out that the call for an RCI is not about Azam as an individual, but an issue of governance for an agency entrusted to combat corruption. He said the RCI should instead be given a broader mandate to investigate both Azam and the alleged corporate mafia claims. Hassan added that the RCI should also propose reforms that can ensure the agency remains transparent, effective, and beyond reproach.
The report that Azam's contract won't be extended had been published yesterday. Here's more on that.
MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki's contract will likely not be extended after it ends on May 12. This is according to a report in Singapore news outlet The Straits Times. The report cited anonymous, high-level government and legal sources and said that the government is under pressure to take sterner action against the anti-corruption chief. A source told them that Prime Minister Anwar had repeatedly stressed to the cabinet in recent weeks that Azam's contract won't be renewed. Azam's contract has been extended 3 times. Anwar had previously defended extending the MACC chief's tenure amid criticisms, including from his daughter Nurul Izzah. He said that Azam had shown extraordinary courage in tackling high-level corruption. In December last year, Azam acknowledged that the repeated extensions of his contract had drawn criticism from certain parties. He hinted that his tenure might end upon the expiry of his contract in May this year. Malaysia Kini has contacted the MACC for comments on the report. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
The Securities Commission was asked if it was investigating the corporate mafia claims. This was the response from its chairperson, Faiz Azmi.
Securities Commission Chairperson Faiz Azmi has refused to reveal whether or not his agency is investigating claims on the corporate mafia. Faiz cited Section 148 of the Securities Commission Act and said that he could go to jail if he says anything. He was quoted by The Edge last night as saying that Section 148 says you go to jail if you discuss any investigations that are still ongoing, and asked, "Do you really want me to go to jail?" Section 148 of the Securities Commission Act prohibits the disclosure of information obtained during the course of duties and is not published as per the law. Non-compliance is punishable with a fine of up to 1 million ringgit, a jail term of up to 5 years, or both. Malaysia Kini has contacted lawyers to determine whether the section prohibits the disclosure of investigations as well. However, Section 152A of the same Act allows the Commission to publish information regarding action it is taking. Previously, the SC had revealed when it was conducting probes through press releases. This includes the Commission's statements in January 2022 that it would speak to MACC Chief Azam Baki after he claimed that his brother had used his trading account to buy shares. The SC had concluded then that there was no evidence of proxy trading and that Azam was in control of his accounts.
Hamzah Zainudin has brushed off suggestions that he should rejoin Umno. He said that he would proceed with his plans to be part of a new political entity.
Sacked Bersatu Deputy President Hamzah Zainudin has indicated that he will proceed with plans to be a part of a new political entity and won't return to Umno. When asked about Umno President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's remarks that all former members are welcome to rejoin the party under his Rumah Bangsa vision, Hamzah stated that there is no need to join Umno. He said this after hosting a breaking fast gathering attended by all Perikatan Nasional Component Party leaders as well as Berjasa President Zamani Ibrahim, Pojong President Mukris Mahathir and Parti Keluarga Malaysia founder Putrajaya last night. Apart from Gerakan President Dominic Lau and Malaysian Indian People's Party President P. Punitan, also seated at the main table with Hamzah was MIC President S.A. Victor and past Central Committee member Pendang MP Awang Hashim. Hamzah told reporters that the gathering was held to strengthen ties. He says strengthening these ties creates the feeling that he does not disregard any party, including UMNO. However, he said if the question is whether he will join UMNO, then no. He stated that many parties are with him, so he will see how things develop for the future of the people. Since his sacking, Hamzah was largely remained silent on his next political move, but last week he reportedly hinted at a potential takeover of the yet-to-be-registered Parti Keluarga Malaysia.
If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
Back to Hassan. Yesterday, the PKR lawmaker had told Anwar not to ignore concerns raised about the MACC.
Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Abdul Karim said that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim risks undermining his legitimacy if he continues ignoring complaints about the MACC, including concerns raised by his daughter, PKR Deputy President Nurul Izzah. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Hassan said that Prime Minister's legitimacy rests on the support of MPs and political parties, including his own. Ignoring MPs, he warned, could invite questions about that legitimacy. He added that before it gets to the point, Anwar must stop dilly-dallying and act to save Malaysia from mafias and corruption. He said this when asked to comment on Nurul Izzah's statement on Saturday that there needs to be answers regarding allegations of a so-called corporate mafia, private individuals who collude with the MACC to shake down business rivals. Hassan stated that he fully supported Nurul Izzah as she has always been consistent on the matter. Hassan added that the party president must listen to the views of the deputy president as well as the criticisms raised by Rafizi Ramli regarding the MACC. He noted that he had also spoken about the matter in parliament. If the voices of all PKR leaders and MPs are not heard by the PKR president, who will the Prime Minister listen to? He asked. Anwar had previously defended the MACC and Azam in particular, saying none were as brave as the latter in pursuing graft cases.
PAS has urged the authorities to take swift action to detain those responsible for attacking the home and damaging the cars of a self-proclaimed social activist known as Cikgu Chandra.
PAS has urged all parties not to take the law into their own hands. This was in response to reports of an attack on vehicles belonging to a self-proclaimed social activist known as Cikgu Chandra. PAS Information Chief Ahmad Fadli Shari cautioned that such actions could push the country towards a situation where a state of emergency might have to be declared. In a statement, he noted that when a country begins to experience unrest and chaos, certain parties may exploit the turmoil to advance their own agendas. He warned that such a situation must not be allowed to escalate to a point of threatening public safety and national stability. Fadli stressed that the country must not be allowed to reach a stage where a state of emergency has to be declared. He added that if the situation spirals out of control and leads to an emergency, the people and the nation as a whole would suffer significant losses in terms of stability, the economy, and social life. He therefore urged all parties to act rationally and responsibly to ensure the country's peace and stability are preserved. The Pasir Mas MP also urged the authorities to take swift action to detain those responsible for the attack. He said such extreme behavior is unacceptable in a country founded on the rule of law and peace. Yesterday, Cikgu Chandra, who has been vocal in campaigning against unauthorized Hindu temples, said that he was a victim of an attack on his house and arson to his cars.
And that is all for me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.